Don't forget to wear your mittens.
It's our time with Mr. Mayberry. Hey, let's get creative.
Good morning, class.
Good morning, Mr. Mayberry.
Welcome back to Art Time with Mr. Mayberry. Today I'm going to show you how to draw pattern mittens. Let's talk first a little bit about a pattern. A pattern is when you have at least two things that repeat in an order. Let me give you an example. We're going to look at some color patterns today. You can also use numbers for patterns and shapes and letters. And you can also use pictures for patterns. But today we're using colors. And I'm going to show you two types of patterns. We're going to use a two-color pattern or a three-color pattern today. So let's take a look at those. Here's an example of a two-color pattern. We have red, blue, red, blue, red. Can you guess what the next color should be? If you said blue, that's right. Our two colors in this pattern are red and blue, and they just go back and forth. Red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, and it could go like that forever. Our next color pattern that I want to look at is a three-color pattern. And the three colors are green, blue, and purple. And so let's look at those. Green, blue, purple, green, blue, purple, green, blue. If you said purple, that's right. Notice how they go in the same order every time, and that's what a pattern is when something repeats in the same order. So today we're going to be drawing a pair of mittens, and then we're going to add a color pattern to that pair of mittens. So let's get started. It's time to make some art. Oh, I almost forgot. Since it's a new year, I'd like to teach you a new paper exercise. So let's pick up our paper and hold it this direction, and we'll say together, horizontal. That starts with a H, horizontal. And vertical starts with a V, vertical. Let's try this exercise together. Here we go. Horizontal, vertical. Horizontal, vertical. Today I'd like you to have your paper the horizontal way when we draw. So now let's get started. It's time to make some art. Okay, today you should have your paper turned the wide way, or horizontal as we just talked about. And we're going to be drawing a mitten on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side. And the left-hand side of your paper is the same side as your left hand. The right-hand side of your paper is the same side as your right hand. Let's first start with the hand. Put down the hand that you normally do not draw with. And I draw with my right hand, so I don't draw with my left. So I'm putting down my left hand on the left-hand side of the paper. And what you want to do is put your fingers together and then stick your thumb out to the side. And then we're going to trace around your hand. So I'm going to trace around all of my fingers and then around my thumb. I'm just using a black crayon to do this. You could use some other color, but I would not recommend using yellow, white, or pink to draw with because they're harder to see. You can color with those later. Alright, let's go ahead and make this look like a mitten. This is kind of a mitten shape here. On a glove, the fingers, you see all the individual fingers, but on a mitten, they're all together into one big shape. And so there's the mitten shape. And what I'm going to do to finish this is connect these two at the bottom. And then I want to draw two short vertical lines the tall way. And then draw a curve that goes the same direction as this curve here across the bottom. And this is to make a wristband that goes around the bottom of the mitten. I'm going to put some vertical lines all the way across, some stripes. Now you can color those in with a pattern as well today, but I'm just going to color mine probably the same color. So that's the left mitten. Now, this one's a little harder for me to do because I don't usually use my left hand to draw, and that's what I'm going to have to do. So you're using your other hand now, put it down, and we're going to do the same thing. We want to trace around it. Now this one might be harder to do, or should be harder to do, because we're using a hand that we're not used to using to draw. But go ahead and do it. You can do it. I'm going around all of my hand, just like that. So now I have a mitten on the right hand side. And try to make sure that you don't cover up one hand with the other one when you're doing the mittens, because we're going to be cutting these out. And if you do that, if you cover one up, then when you go to cut it out, you're going to end up having to cut off part of one of your mittens, and that won't be good. So make sure you don't cover up your mittens when you're tracing where your hands were. Okay, then I'm going to connect here at the bottom of this one and make a wristband on this one. So 2 short, tall lines, vertical lines, and then a line that curves below, just like that. And then some vertical lines to make stripes this direction. Okay, so these are our mittens. And now to color them in, first what we're going to do is to make some stripes across here. I'm just going to make lines that go horizontal across here. I do that to both mittens. So there's my stripes on that one, and do the same thing over here. They don't have to be exactly the same size. When you get to the thumb, you can go the other direction like that. And then you don't have to have the same number as me, so you don't have to count those. Just kind of space them out all the way down, make stripes. And then now you have to decide what colors you would like to use for your pattern. And I'd like you to use either a 2-color pattern or a 3-color pattern. I'm going to go ahead and take a minute and color mine in, and then I'll come back and show you what I chose. Okay, I decided to color mine in with a 3-color pattern, red, yellow, blue, red, yellow, blue, red, yellow, blue. And then I cut them out, and now I'm going to glue them to a 9x12 piece of sky blue construction paper. And you could use whatever color paper you'd like to use, but I'm going to go ahead and glue those down. And what you do is you put glue on the back of the mitten. Don't put glue on the construction paper. Remember, use thin lines and dots when you're gluing. Don't use too much. We don't need to squirt out half the bottle on our paper when we glue, because that's just wasteful and makes a big mess. So I've got glue on the back of that. Now I'm going to turn it around and position it where I want it to be, and then press down on it so that it'll stay. And then I'll do the same with the other mitten. And I'll put it down too. Alright, don't forget to put your name on your project when you're finished. And this is our project for today, Pattern Mittens. Well, now that we've drawn pattern mittens, you might look around and see what other items of clothing have patterns on them. I don't know if you noticed, but I have a pattern on my tie, a pattern of snowmen. Well, thank you for coming to art class, and don't forget to bundle up when you go out in the cold weather. And I'll see you next time.
Goodbye, Mr. Mayberry.
Bye.